man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Welcome to Right and Wrong. This is the show where we try to wake up the woke by talking common sense about the issues of the day. I'm your host, Brian Ruka, and with me, as always, over there is my man and yours, producer Juice. We like to call him the Truth Box out there on the World Wide Web. My man, Truth, how is everything going tonight, brother?
Everything is going super well. Thank you for asking.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Happy to be here. Great to
Yeah.
have you aboard.
Episode 98, eh?
Woo, baby. 98
I don't know.
times.
Check me if I don't know if this is a good thing or not, but should you have more episodes than subscribers? Is that good?
Probably not a good thing.
But
this
there's
is
a
all
back
part of the-
catalog for when they find us. There's a back catalog.
Exactly. It's all part of the process, right, Juice?
Yes, sir.
I love it. All right. So I often find myself wondering why things are the way they are in this world. I observe my surroundings and I try to analyze the situation. I mean, like Juice said, this is our 98th episode, so I guess it sort of comes with the gig, right? Well, this weekend I went to a haunted hayride with my family, and I can't help but find myself thinking back to the famous scene from the last season of Succession to help me understand how we got to this point in our society. Juice?
You're such fucking dopes. You are not serious figures. I love you, but you are not serious people.
So we were stuck in a line for about an hour with maybe the worst behaved group of preteens that I've been around in a long time. It was close to unbearable, and I feel horrible that my poor wife had to deal with me being bothered by this the entire time. I don't do well in lines to begin with, but then throw something like this on top of it and just watch out. These kids were throwing popcorn all over the place, flicking the lights on and off when we reached the foyer of the building, and generally being over the top rowdy the entire time. It got so bad that an older woman working the event had to yell at them to stop messing with stuff. Now, this hayride was held in a state park, and it was a charity event. So the people working there were just volunteering. There was a group of 4 moms that were supposedly in charge of these maniacs who never once paused their own conversation to actually parent their children. And do you know why? It's because they are not serious people. We have a society of parents like this. We live in a world where the adults in the room would rather be friends with their kids or find some kind of clinical sounding excuse to explain or ignore poor behavior that's a direct result of their poor parenting. He has hyperactive line standing disorder, so we need to let him express himself by looting and destroying his surroundings. We like to calmly imply that there will be consequences for poor behavior without ever actually following through on those threats. That way, he doesn't actually feel threatened. Now, the sad thing is, these kids will grow up to have kids of their own, and the cycle will just continue to go on and on and on. It's parenting like this that will result in more white dudes for Harris in the world. The worst part about this whole thing is that I've never considered myself to be much of a serious person at all. One of my biggest accomplishments in life so far has been being voted the class clown in high school. So if we're at the point where I'm one of the adults in the room, then we're in trouble. Our culture is in a bad place right now, and we can see it in all aspects of life. Why do you think grown adults actually show up to job interviews with their parents? What did we think would happen after decades of everybody gets a trophy culture? I'm almost 40 years old. My generation should be the leaders of the world right now, but we've refused to grow and become serious people. Look at the way we dress. Juice's dad used to openly ridicule men that left their house wearing sweatpants. Have you seen the way a lot of men my age dress? The adults out there today are growing more and more socially awkward. We're a generation of grown-ups with our heads buried in our phones. Should we be surprised when our kids do the same? But as the man in the TV show said, we are not serious people. And with that being said, I do believe it's time to welcome in our good friend, Mr. Ric Flair, because it is showtime, baby. Woo!
Showtime!
Oh, yeah. Showtime. Let's get into things, Juice. Now, I know you're down there in Georgia, but up here in Massachusetts, Senator Chief Warren herself is up for re-election. It's probably a shoo-in that she's going to win again because Massachusetts is just god-awful when it comes to that stuff. But she happened... Yeah, it's brutal. So she happened to have an actual debate this past week with the Republican challenger. Guy goes by the name of John Deaton. And I'll be honest with you, I live here. I generally consider myself to be someone in touch with the political things, and I didn't really know much about Deaton at all. I might be guilty of one of the things that I think hurts all of us these days is I focus a little bit more on everything national news and all that type of stuff and lose sight of what's going on in my own backyard in a way. And I think that happens everywhere.
More too. The closer to you, the more
Absolutely.
you can control it, the more it affects you on an every day. So
hell yeah. So I should be paying a lot more attention to this type of stuff.
I met the lady, running for DA to oust Fonnie Williams.
Oh, really?
I got a Trump sweatshirt on. She was like, "Oh, can I put a sign in the neighborhood?"
Nice.
Running. I'm like, if you're running against Fonnie Williams, you can put anything.
Yeah, and then if she wants to run against Fannie Willis, then forget about it.
Who's that?
Isn't that her name, Willis?
What did I call her?
You called her Williams.
Oh, but it's Fonnie.
But we both messed it up. It's Fonnie, not Fannie.
Willis. Yeah, Fonnie.
We'll take your Fonnie and my Willis.
Yeah,
and,
with our powers combined.
We'll put them together. So, anyways,
you talk about Williams.
That's awesome. So,
moving on.
John Deaton, he debated Chief Warren, and I kind of want to play some clips from this thing for you guys and let you know
a little powwow with Chief Warren.
Yeah, exactly. They smoke a peace pipe beforehand. I don't know if that's going to get us banned from YouTube, people. Sorry. So, right off the bat, though, this one was like a clear indication of just what's wrong with the debate format these days. So this was hosted by, the local CBS affiliate. The guy who was actually moderating it stayed out of it. He was kind of fine, but he co-moderated with the political, publisher or whatever, or the editor from the Globe, who is just completely left-leaning newspaper. So it's one of those things where it's always rigged against us on the Republican side. And I think it was clear with the very first question that got asked, and we got that clip for you here, Juice.
Earlier this year, a border bill with bipartisan support in the Senate died at the urging of former President Donald Trump and other GOP leaders. It would have spent billions on border security, overhauled our asylum system, and helped Massachusetts deal with the migrant surge that's happening here. Only 4 Republican senators voted for it. Senator Warren voted against it. You have said that you would have supported this bill. Why?
So his answer was kind of garbage. He rambled on, whatever. That's not even the important part. I wanted to show you that to hear the framing of that question. And the thing I was looking for from Deaton was to just come in and attack the question. Don't waste your time going into playing on their rules, like playing it on their court under their premise. He should have come right out and been like, you know what? I don't agree with the way you framed that question. President Trump was not in office at the time. He had nothing to do with voting yes or no on that bill. as you just mentioned, the senator to my right over here voted against the bill, and she framed it as if like Trump talked all the Republicans into voting it down. Now, the real issue there was the fact that they waited to do nothing about the border until the summer before the election when they wanted to pretend like they cared about the border. And they had things in place that would have allowed for more judges to be put in, for more ICE agents, yes, but not like people that would be going and rounding people up, more people that would be working to process the paperwork so that
Yeah,
they
more
could get
people
more
doing the app,
people in.
right? The
Yeah,
app.
yes, exactly.
More app
That's what that bill.
developers.
Yes, that's what the bill would have done. More app developers. So it just would have opened the floodgates more. And there were like caps on it, but they were like ridiculously absurd numbers. Like I should have had
5,000
this.
a day or something.
Yeah, exactly. It was like
Then
something
then
absurd.
it will
And,
come into
and it would have had to be for 7 straight days.
oh,
Juice.
0 a day. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. When the whole issue here going on is the fact that Trump had stuff in place that kept the border more secure, more safe, less illegals coming in. And Biden on day one erased them all with the stroke of a pen. So Deaton could have
With the
grabbed that
stroke.
issue. He did. So Deaton should have went right at her with that and said something along the
Yeah.
lines
By
of
the
like,
time
you know,
dig
we
out of
don't
the
need the bill.
question, by the time you dig yourself out of that one-sided question, you don't have time to get to. Then
Exactly.
they're like,
You're over.
that'll be your answer. That's your time.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
So-
Thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
So it's just, it was stupid. It was bad. And it just kind of showed that to me, he's kind of a weak candidate to begin with. And, you know, I guess it's par for the course here with a Massachusetts Republican. And we're going to go on more because this is barely about Chief Warren for me. She is who she is. She doesn't really lie about the things she's supports. She lies about her heritage a little bit and stuff, but she's a far left lunatic. Her eyes tell you that every time she speaks, and everybody knows that about her. This guy basically came in and tried to present himself as a Democrat with an R next to his name, and that's what I couldn't stand. And
Yeah,
I
you
guess,
said the system was rigged against you with questions like this. No, the
Yep.
system is rigged against you in Massachusetts when these are the two candidates.
exactly.
Democrat and Democrat light, you know.
Yeah, and this is something that I'll credit my boy Michael Knowles as saying all the time. He kind of used it when he talked about Trump and DeSantis, who you guys all know I was a DeSantis guy. But the whole time, Michael Knowles used the comparison of Coke versus New Coke. Remember, Pepsi versus New Pepsi, or Coke, one of those two, when they were trying to do like a light version. And Knowles's point was, why choose the second one when you can just have the original right there? Like, who's going to go for, you know? And that was his point about DeSantis, is basically running as a Trump candidate without actually being Trump. So if that's my choice, I'd rather just pick the OG. And I think that was true. I feel the same way with this choice right here. If you're a Democrat, if you have a choice between Deaton and Warren, why take the Democrat light when you can just have the heavy hitter Democrat right there that's already there? So you gotta present an opposite choice for people. And this guy was just brutal. All right, Juice, let's go with the one that really kind of started setting me off. We kind of get 3 clips that we can kind of go back to back to back here. We'll go talk in between, but same type of topic for us. This is how Mr. Deaton feels about abortion, and this is where he just completely lost me. So, Juice, you want to give us the first one?
Say, Senator Warren has been out there. When is a Republican going to stand up to Donald Trump? When is a Republican going to defend and protect a woman's right to choose her own health issues and be pro-abortion? Guess what? That Republican is here. I've been taking on the leadership of the
Horrible.
Oh.
Horrible, right?
Yeah, that Republican. Yeah, okay.
Nope.
Good luck.
Nope.
Just trying to like toe the middle of the, you know, be the best of both worlds. It doesn't win you shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And believe me, like, I get it. If you need to get elected, like, I've been trying to give President Trump a little bit of grace here and there with the way he's tackled abortion when it's come up in his debates this time around. he hasn't come out and been as pro-life as me and you like to talk here, but he's also been the guy who put the 3 justices on the court
Yeah,
that helped get Roe versus Wade overturned. So
actions speak louder. I know he's,
exactly.
trying to get elected,
So you got to play the game a little bit. And like, I would respect it a little bit more if Deaton came out and said something about like, oh, however he wants to frame it about letting women make decisions for themselves, but within reason, maybe. Like, the person standing to my right over here, the chief on my right, is in full favor of complete child sacrifice up till the moment of birth. Like, I don't agree with that. Like, I agree with a woman, whatever he wants to say, but this guy's coming out saying, I am a pro woman's choice Republican. I'm right here. That's me. Get out of here, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. So he continued on this path, because that kind of snowballed into the next question, ended up being a specific, abortion type of question. And this is how he handled that one. Juice.
What one are we on?
The women's right to choose.
Okay, isn't that what we...
And she just ignored that. My daughters asked me not to run. They said, Daddy, don't run because politics is ugly. And they might lie about you and try to make you look like a bad guy when you're not. You want to know what I said? I said, Senator Warren is a 75-year-old grandmother. When she sees that I believe strongly in a woman's right to reproduction, and when she sees that I take on Donald Trump or anyone else in the Republican Party, she'll welcome that. And we can have a real policy debate. And the first thing she did was lie about my daughter, Olivia, Senator, called me in tears, saying, Daddy, I told you, my friends are texting me. They're emailing me. I thought your dad wasn't MAGA. I thought your dad believed in a woman's rights. Senator Warren doesn't owe me a damn thing, but she owes my daughters an apology. You should not lie like that.
Further, go ahead.
Yeah, you're right.
Horrible.
Furthest thing from MAGA, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And to try to bring the kids into and make this like a sob story for you, buddy, like enough. That's something.
Yeah,
again,
I thought you weren't
that's what
MAGA.
the left would do.
Oh, I thought you weren't MAGA.
Oh, poor me, poor John Deaton. My kid's getting mega mashed at school.
Oh, I was talking to the 75-year-old tribal leader, and she was supposed to accept me.
Yeah, exactly.
Tribal elder, I mean.
Yeah,
I was talking to a 75-year-old shaman, Indian shaman.
Yes. Oh, I love it. So he should have said, again, if he wants to go that route, say, hey, I believe in a woman's right to choose, but I would have thought that this person would have had an open dialogue with me so we could decide, within reason where that stands. Is she in favor of 15 weeks, 6 weeks, up to the moment of birth? Because that's what I would like to know from her. Because, I do believe in a woman's right to choose, but I do also believe that, there needs to be some sort of time frame for that decision to be made. However he wants to swing that. But to just come out and blatantly like that.
Yeah, at least differentiate yourself a little bit. You both
exactly. And I think to top it off here, the last one was when he, again, talking about his 3 daughters, going back to the well with that, and just completely unacceptable answer from him. So
Full time,
Yeah, let me tell you something. Don't talk to me about, I'm a father of 3 daughters. I'm incapable of supporting a law that would restrict the freedoms and privacy of my own daughters. Now, let me tell you, remember.
Horrible.
Don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me about that. To restrict the freedoms and privacy of them. See you later. No, thank you. And this guy at one point talking about how he would have pushed to make Roe versus Wade the law of the land for the whole country. Are you kidding me? What's more extreme than that? Absolute crazy. I don't know how this guy can be considered a Republican. And again, like I kind of said at the top, it's no wonder why Massachusetts is such a blue state. We have just a completely weak Republican leadership. Everybody in this state has abandoned any so-called culture war issues for so long that your Republicans are basically just the soft, like wanting to be accepted in their social circle, people that, oh, I'm a, socially liberal, but fiscally conservative type of Republican. Eh.
Yeah,
Like,
shut up.
no thanks. Like, so you're nothing. Like, because the Democrats will be fiscally conservative as well. They'll well, I guess they're not going to be conservative with it. They're going to spend. But you're not going to beat them in that game. You're going to beat them by reaching people on a human level.
That's such a
by
cliche
appealing.
up there.
It really is.
And-
You're going to win by being the Republican Party that's going to tell you, no, we're going to make sure your kids aren't, your little girls aren't beat by boys in their field hockey games. We're going to win on those types of things. We're not going to mutilate children here in Massachusetts. We need a Republican that's going to talk like that and bring the fight to them, not play on their rules like this jackass did.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of like, oh, we're going to leave it all out on the field. We need to get into the dirty areas.
Yeah,
how,
exactly.
After sports,
so, no, thank you. We need someone. And in this last clip was the one that like a couple people I saw like sharing this around, and they think it's like it's almost like the oh look at that, he's being a badass, like because of the language he chooses here. And Juice, you kind of said this when we played the ad from the dude that I kind of liked that ran against Deaton in the primary. His name was Ian Kane.
Mm-hmm.
And remember in his ad, he said like, we're going to get shit done. And you afterwards, you were like, meh, like, what do you think? You're cool because you said shit? Like,
yeah, I think that's, if anything, inappropriate and makes me not like it.
Yeah. So he kind of
can't do an ad without swearing.
Exactly. Like, and I liked it at the time. I was like, oh, you know what? Whatever. It doesn't bother me. But Deaton kind of went to that well here in the debate, and I just don't think it played well. Again, like coming on the heels of the other clips we just showed you from him, and he comes in, he talks the big game like this, but it's like, dude, you're not much different from her. So what do you mean? So let's show the folks out there, Juice.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Senator Warren lives in this hyper-partisan political world where she's defined by party. You notice it's Democrats are great, Republicans are bad. I got news for you, Senator. All of you suck in Congress. All of you. It's a broken system.
Ooh. Okay. And I don't think
like he wouldn't be a part, and he wouldn't be part of a bubble. Like if he's just not in the bubble because he's not
exactly
get into anything.
Yeah, you didn't get picked for the team, pal.
Yeah, it'd be in the bubble, eventually with the Rhinos.
Absolutely. You mean to tell me a guy like Josh Hawley sucks? Ted Cruz, he sucks? Like, no, your boy, your boy Mitch McConnell.
My boy Kennedy.
I don't know about him. No,
Louisiana.
Kennedy. Oh yeah, Foghorn Leghorn Kennedy. He doesn't.
I say.
No, those guys are great, man.
Yeah.
So I get what he's trying to do there, but it's just like, come on, man. That's again somebody who's not comfortable in his own skin. He's not comfortable with the R next to his name because he's not a real Republican. He's a rhino. Otherwise, he would support the Republican Party. He'd support the Republican candidate running for president, and he would be talking in a way that shows everybody that he supports those things. I don't think Trump's going to win Massachusetts, but he's going to do a hell of a lot better than people think he's going to do here in Massachusetts. And we just need somebody who's going to come up and actually appeal to that movement because it's going on everywhere in this country. We just need these people.
We're a rhino, not MAGA.
yeah, exactly. That's what the daughters are saying to him.
He said in name only, not MAGA.
Exactly. Great point. So keeping things moving and keeping things tight. That's kind of what was going on with the Senate, campaign here in Massachusetts. Let's jump back into the national thing here and focus on the presidential campaigns that are going on right now. And I think it could be summed up pretty simple, Juice. It's two campaigns going in opposite directions. They're one's just humming, cruise control, everything clicking, everything's going right. And the other one is like anything that could go wrong is going wrong. And they're just completely going opposite ways. And it made me think of that Seinfeld episode. You remember the one, Juice, when George starts doing the opposite?
Mm-hmm.
Remember? Like in Every Instinct.
And what's his name? Jerry's doing this bit.
Exactly. Jerry's even Steven, he says throughout that episode. He's like, oh, everything always evens out for me. Lose a job, get a new one. Girl,
I know, but
dumps
he's
me,
talking about
I
his
get a new
friends.
one.
He's talking about
Yeah.
his friends, and it's like
And then
one's friend's sucking, like the other one's good. Like
exactly.
they don't care that it's even enough for you.
Nope. But
he's
it's
like,
even for Jerry. So, Juice, that's what I could think of right now. Let's show the people to remind them what Mr. Seinfeld described in that episode.
Elaine, don't get too down. Everything will even out. See, I have two friends. You were up, he was down. Now he's up, you're down. You see how it all evens out for me?
All evens out
For
for
me.
him, right?
I mean, yeah, and then like he's like, oh well, later Kramer's like, oh, you only had the soup and stuff. He's like, oh, it's all right, it'll even out. At Monk's at the end.
Oh, it's so good, so good. And that's how I feel. Like, you know, Kamala had her little honeymoon period in August when she shivved her boss in the back, or not August, it was earlier than that, but what was that, 55 days or so where she didn't do an interview or anything.
Yeah, ever since she started doing interviews.
Exactly. And she was up, she was doing great. Trump looked like maybe he might have been railing a little bit. He wasn't quite out there as much in the aftermath of an assassination attempt. And people started, you know, it seemed like the numbers were turning in her direction. And now it's completely flipped and it's back into the Trump thing. I honest to God, I know they're going to mess around with the election. I know I can't trust all the mail-in nonsense, but I genuinely feel like this is going to be a blowout win for Trump. I really do at this point. We're 2 weeks away. I think he's going to win pretty handily. What do you think, Juice?
I mean, I like to think so, but I've seen.
You don't want to take it for granted?
Yeah, just like that red wave 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know. And I get it. And I understand that. And
I've already heard shenanigans, though. I don't think they'll let it be a blowout.
Well, I heard them saying today that it's going to be not until Saturday, like the election on Tuesday. And like, we probably won't know for sure until Saturday. Like, are you kidding me? Because of the way like Pennsylvania counts. And
used to be once in a blue moon where you had to wait till the next.
Yeah, like, come on. But
yeah, I saw stuff already about, you know, the Dominion machines. You're pressing this.
Yeah,
like, it automatically slides to the next. Yeah, MTG.
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
or she was saying, even when you select this, when you print it out, it says the other thing. Like, so.
Yeah, that's
print
bad.
it out. And then someone I actually know, you know, was at doing an early vote, and they asked to like see his ballot.
Really?
Like, put it over here. Put it in this scanner. You know, like you print it out and you put it in the scanner. Yeah, and it was a shredder. It wasn't a scanner.
Dude, that's crazy.
No, but they did do that. Like, oh, can I take a look? No, you can't take a look.
Nuts. No, F off.
Yeah.
Ugh, crazy. All right. Well, we all know, you know, it's been about maybe a week by the time this is out here from that Fox News interview that Kamala did. So the whole reason she did that interview is because the campaigns are going in opposite directions there. And every time Trump talks, every time he does an interview, every time he is in the public eye, I feel like it's usually a positive. He's, you know, he's got a good attitude. He's quick on his feet. That's when he excels. And that's just, she's the complete opposite. She needs to be scripted. She needs to have the teleprompter. She needs to have no objections to her. And in a live interview with someone, that's just not going to happen. So she did the interview with Fox News, Brett Baer. And to be honest with you, I don't think it was as great, you know, as much of a slam dunk against her as people on the conservative side of things tried to make it out. And I think people on the left tried to make it out like she was great. She went into the belly of the beast and blah, blah, blah. So I think it's kind of been an overreaction both ways on this one. I don't think Bear did a great
even
job.
Steven, bro. Everything.
Even Steven. Yeah, there you go. I didn't even mean that. But I don't think he did quite as good as like some people were saying, oh, well, he was trying to. I think he did come across like making her look like that. Oh, I'm speaking, like giving her a moment to be the victim a little bit. And I get why he did that. Like he didn't want her to sit there and just talk nonsense and chew up the time.
He did do a good bit though when he was like, "No, don't know what you're talking about."
And that's where we're going with this.
Yeah,
that's the one. And this is the best moment of it. So I did want to show that.
Spoiler alert.
No, it was great, but
Week
I
later,
just think
anyways.
I didn't love his questions. That's all. And it's same as like the way I picked apart the question in that debate thing. It's like be a little bit more succinct with your question, and be a little bit more direct. Don't make it like a broad like who cares? Oh, can you give us the number of people? Like that was a waste of a question. I feel like, and that's where he was like hopping on it. What's the number? What's the number? Blah 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 blah. So I didn't love that, but this moment here, as we just kind of alluded to, was the best moment of it. Worst for Kamala, and let's see how it went. Juice.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
You're the lever of power.
But listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republican.
What are we talking about here?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was great. It was awesome because we don't know what she was talking about there. Listen, Trump has been campaigning
10 years.
But
He's been talking. He's been, yeah.
I love that he brought up the turn the page thing because that was just brutal. Remember Walz's wife? Turn the page. Turn the
Also
page.
means bye-bye, Donald
Yeah,
Trump.
exactly.
Like, bye-bye from where?
Yeah.
He's not in here.
From the sidelines? Like, come on.
Bye-bye.
Horrible. So she did that interview. It's on the heels of the stupid Call Her Daddy podcast interview that she did. She's been making the rounds, and this was like the first.
Not serious people.
Thank you. And this was the first one going against like an adversary instead of like someone who's going to vote for her either way. And she didn't do great. She definitely did not do great. So over the weekend, they had this Al Smith dinner in New York, which is, we've all seen clips from this before. They do it every 4 years. Both presidential candidates usually show up. It's a Catholic run event in New York. And it's one of those, we're all going to take jabs at each other. We're all going to spar a little bit, but we're here having dinner together still at the end of the day. It's for charity, but everybody goes. It's always something that they're at. And Trump, showed up and he absolutely crushed it. He was hilarious, spoke for, close to 20 minutes, and he did not hold back. He was dropping haymakers, Juice. You see these clips? They were all over the place. And it made him look even better because Kamala skipped it. She didn't even show up to the thing. She was afraid to go and be there because she cannot perform live on stage, even with a scripted number of jokes to tell. She would just come across awkward, not good. So she skipped the thing. And meanwhile, Trump comes up and we have a top 5 best zingers from Trump from that event. And this was courtesy of Colin Rugg, who put this together. We grabbed it off of Twitter. And without further ado, Juice, let's go to the man.
I think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods. But then I met Tim Walz. Well, I'd better wrap up because Mayor Adams told me earlier that I needed to make this one very quick, especially the city has reserved this room for a large group of illegal aliens coming in from Texas. There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris? Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. A major issue in this race is child care, and Kamala has put forward a concept of a plan. A lot of people don't like it. The only piece of advice I would have for her in the event that she wins would be not to let her husband, Doug, anywhere near the nannies. Just keep them away. That's a nasty one. Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president.
That is top notch. Oh, it's great.
Like all five are great. The first two are hilarious. With the periods, and then I met Tim Walz.
Dude, I love that. I love that. The
We gotta be
migrants.
quick on this room. They're reserving it for illegals.
Dude, the migrants. Oh, man.
Sanctuary City.
Unbelievable. Because that's what they're doing, right? They're putting all these people in these banquet halls at hotels and stuff. So it was perfect. And again, I'll steal this point that I've heard from others out there. If this man is really Hitler, that's going to overthrow the very sacred democracy here, would Chuck Schumer be sitting there at dinner with the guy, riffing with him, like ribbing each other? Come on. No way. They don't think they don't like him. I'm not saying they like him. They don't support the stuff he supports, but he's not a threat to the country the way they try to make him out to be. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in the same room as him. Like, come on. But those were just great. Top-notch job by Trump. Now, meanwhile, like I said, she couldn't be bothered to be there. The host of the show, of the event, the MC, was that comedian Jim Gaffigan or something. I don't really think he's that funny. But when he was doing his bit, he was like, dude, Kamala didn't show up. She's not here. I don't know why. We're in a room full of Catholics and Jews from New York. If this isn't the biggest layup for a Democrat, I don't know what else is. And he's right. Easy win for her to show up, smile, laugh, do the awkward kind of thing that Schumer was doing when Trump was speaking, and then
maybe don't
crush
laugh.
Trump.
That could hurt.
Yeah, her laugh would hurt, but she could have gone up and just given it back to him. It would have made her look competent in someone who could do it. And she instead did this, Juice, which is one of the worst videos I've maybe ever seen.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Catherine Gallagher. Mary Catherine Gallagher. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that I'm a Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Sometimes when I get nervous, I stick my fingers under my arms and I simmer them like that. But that's gross.
So tell me something. I'm giving a speech. Do you have some thoughts about what I might say tonight?
My feelings about what you should say tonight would be best expressed in a monologue from one of my favorite made-for-TV series.
Okay, let's hear it.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more compassion. And think how smart she must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men. It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
What series was that from?
Oh, that's from House of Dragons, now streaming on HBO Max.
Is there anything that you think that maybe I shouldn't bring up tonight?
Well, don't lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor.
Indeed, especially thy neighbor's election results.
Just so you know, there will be a fact checker there tonight.
Oh, that's great. Who?
Jesus. And maybe don't say anything negative about Catholics.
I would never do that, no matter where I was. That would be like criticizing Detroit in Detroit.
Does it bother you that Trump guy insults you all the time? Because it really bothers my friends. And
ouch, right?
Cringy.
Oh, man.
Cringy and Catholics.
Not funny.
It was kind of not funny and I don't even want to go
insulting.
Yeah. But it's like,
her whole shtick is a Catholic schoolgirl.
I know.
That's what that whole thing is supposed to be from SNL of the 90s.
Yeah.
That was right. Late 90s skit. Come on. Yeah. What would we be saying if Trump busted out Wayne and Garth? I don't know. Actually, maybe I would like that. I might like that, actually.
We busted out Hulk Hogan. We like that.
That's true.
those are just better bust outs than Mary Catherine Gallagher.
Yeah. Maybe that's where we're at. It's just horrible. That's the best you can do. It'd be like Trump busting out who, like Hacksaw Jim Duggan instead of he couldn't get Hulk, so he's got the 2x4 instead. Yeah, that was just terrible, man. So that's what she did. Instead of showing up to the dinner, she sent in that video.
She's like, I'm so honored to be a part of this. Bitch, you're not a part of this.
Exactly. You weren't honored. Yeah, you didn't make time. You didn't come. You blew it off.
That didn't take a short time to make that video.
No.
It took forever, I bet.
Like, come on. Just show up.
Where was she instead? That was so important.
God knows where. Who knows? Avoiding real interviews again, I suppose. Terrible. So this kind of sums up the difference in the campaigns big time too, where Kamala was at a rally and there was an outburst during the rally. You can't really hear it from the clip here, but we want to show you her reaction. But what was yelled was "Jesus is Lord" during her speech, during her rally, and this is how she responded.
With the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade, and they did as he intended. Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally. No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
So she avoids the Catholic charity dinner and instead phones in a stupid, unfunny skit mocking Catholics, basically, instead with a stupid character from the 90s of SNL. Then she's on the campaign. Someone yells, "Jesus is Lord," as she's talking about pro-abortion legislation that she wants to enforce and wants to put in place top down to cover the entire country. And she mocks them, basically tells them to move on, peasants. You're not welcome here. You're not wanted in a Kamala Harris administration, you dirty Christians. Like, I don't even know if those people are specifically Catholic, but they believe in Jesus. They say Jesus is Lord. So not according to Kamala Harris. Kamala is Lord. Get out of here with that. Now, on the flip side of things, J.D. Vance had a similar outburst during a speaking engagement that he had at a rally, and he handled it a lot different. Juice?
Anti-Christian rhetoric and anti-Christian approach to public policy. I don't think that we've, that's right, Jesus is king, and I don't think that we've seen... I don't think that we've seen anything like this in modern American politics.
That's right. I haven't seen anything like that in modern American politics. But the two difference in those two clips, it's crazy. And I love the fact that he genuinely looks like he's having fun every time he's on camera. It's incredible. He's really good at this.
Yeah, he's grown on me a ton. Remember, I wasn't.
Yeah. Yep. So that was a great response, but again,
it gave me like chills a little bit to like hear people getting excited and being
right,
actually on the same page about something. I feel like the Kamala thing, even though they were like yelling and cheering, everybody hated each other there.
Yeah,
probably.
It's insane. And again, I'm telling you, campaigns of going in opposite directions, man. It's crazy. And I guess in the spirit of keeping things tight, I want to keep this going here. Go back to that Fox News interview. This was being shared around as well, with just how many times she just reverted back to talking about Trump instead. So what's your policy? What is something, turning the page from you, any difficult situation she was put into during that interview, she just went to Trump is Hitler. Trump is Hitler.
But basically. He did that, yeah.
Yeah. So, Juice, you want to give us this?
Democrats voted against that.
Donald Trump's administration, even that Donald Trump acted. Donald Trump's from the Trump campaign, Trump would say he did. Come out of Donald Trump. An individual, he spent $20 million. Donald Trump, if he preferred to run on a problem, he actually has no plan. And again, his policy was his would make them weaker. His plan, Donald Trump, that had.
You've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump and his vice president, he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable, that he is dangerous, with someone who professes to be a leader and it being about him. And watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean. He's the one who talks about it, suggesting he would turn. What he has been saying about when he's speaking about the American people, that he has repeated it, that he has talked about, let's agree with him. This is about Donald Trump being.
You say now
he's unstable. He's unstable, right? He's not stable.
Let me ask you this.
Donald Trump
After
is.
2 minutes of talking to President Biden at a fund debate
Donald
stage.
Trump is unconcerned about Donald Trump. With people who know him best, even people who worked for him, worked with him in this, and have said.
Gotta cut that off.
Crazy.
Still 30 seconds left.
57 times.
Yeah.
She said it in a 30-minute interview. Like,
Twice
come
a minute.
on.
Yeah.
Crazy. So that's her whole shtick. Obviously, we know this by now. Like, she doesn't have anything. She doesn't have an agenda. She doesn't have a plan. She got caught copy and pasting Biden's agenda, remember? Like, they traced it back to his, like, get out of here. All right, so wrapping this one up here, the last one we'll show you, and call me a hypocrite, I guess, because we kind of ripped our boy Deaton there, the senator, the wannabe senator here in Massachusetts, for trying to swear or say like, oh, you suck, and think he's cool. And this clip here is actually somebody swearing, but I can't help it. The man's just cool.
Yeah, that's kind of works for me.
It worked. This time I worked. Call me a hypocrite if you will. So
yeah, that's hypocritical of me too, but it's maybe it's know when to drop them.
Exactly. And you know what? It's the way he does it. His delivery is just that much better. Where Deaton said it and paused, ooh, I went there. Like,
yeah, nobody said anything.
Where this one comes in and it's like, it's kind of just like, no, I got nothing else. But watch the way it's delivered. It's great. So Juice, give us this one.
Radical left, and Crazy Bernie is radical left. And this one, Kamala is further left than them. So you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've had enough, that you just can't take it anymore. We can't stand you. You're a shit vice president. The worst. You're the worst vice president. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. You're fired. Get out of here.
The audio was a little bit bad on that. But if you could hear it, it was gold.
Oh,
you're
gold.
You're a shit vice president. Get out of here.
Get out. And then going back to his original catchphrase, right? You're fired.
That worked so good. That whole.
It's phenomenal. Phenomenal. So I love it. And again, it just highlights the differences in these campaigns. One guy's out there having fun, working the friolator, enjoying his life, meeting people, shaking hands, kissing babies, while the other one is just hiding, ducking, dodging, lying, kicking people out for talking about Jesus and just trying to talk about her opponent the entire time. So crazy. All right, Juice. Do you have anything to remind people to do here if they're watching? If they've made it 48 minutes into the episode?
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. You got me excited. Yeah. Like and subscribe. Press the notification. Press that notification. Put a comment in there.
Do it all. Do it all. Follow us.
Giveaways. Do giveaways. If you like, subscribe and tag your friends.
Subscribe. Yeah. We'll throw you one of those high fives, those virtual high fives that you get in your inbox or something, right? Or wave.
Or
one of those.
Also the Twitter X Juicebox 1423.
1423, baby.
I don't think you need any help now. You're over 1 million now.
No, 1,000, but I'll take it. So let's bring this show home. What do you say, buddy?
I'm ready for it.
Awesome. This is the Come On Man segment of the day, and as you guys already know, this is the part of the show where we like to find a clip of somebody doing something, saying something so absurd, so ridiculous that even though we're going to make fun of them for a couple of minutes, there's not much else we could say to them except, "Come on, man." Exactly. Thank you, President Biden. And this one here is going back to the old backyard for me here in Massachusetts with the New England Patriots player, Christian Barmone. He got pulled over the other day. This guy's out for the year, injured. Well, he's kind of has like a blood thing. He's on blood thinners, like he had blood clots happening. So out for the season. The Patriots actually paid him his whole salary too. He's one of their best players. And they did right by the player, took care of him. Hey, you got a medical thing. It's not like he like tore his ACL. Like this guy, blood clots preseason. We got to figure this out. Take care of yourself. Your health is more important.
Max.
Boom. What?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. We'll take care of you. We'll give you your full salary. He makes a good amount of money. They just re-upped him. I think he's the highest paid player on the team, team captain. This guy's the real deal on the field. And he happened to get pulled over at 1 a.m. In the mean streets of Providence, Rhode Island, from what I'm told, leaving the Foxy Lady Gentleman's Establishment after having himself a night, I guess. And the video we have here, the first one, just shows you the way he treated the officers that showed up to his window to see what was going on. They pulled him over because he had expired plates. He was covering the license plate, so they couldn't even see it. Completely in the wrong here. And he got pulled over, and the body cam footage we're about to show you is from TMZ Sports. Got to give them the credit here in case they try to pull our video down. I'm not sure how that copyright stuff works. We just hope that
98 episodes.
98 episodes.
Aiming to figure it out by 100.
98 episodes, about 10 viewers per week. So I don't think they're worried about us too much unless we're talking about COVID. Then they completely remove us. So, all right, let's go with Barmore being hostile and rude right out of the jump here to these police officers.
Christian, stop cursing.
Yo.
Christian.
All right, so what happened? All right, so she's gonna come pick you up. No. Y'all not gonna give me my car. Yo, my shit not expired, yo. It's expired. Expired on the 5th of October. Yo, my shit coming. My tag coming. My shit at the house. My shit coming, bro.
Here.
Like, my shit coming. Now y'all gonna talk. Hold on. Let me talk to them. I'm a football player, bro. So I ain't here for none of that, bro. I'm going to the crib. So why y'all just pull me up for no reason? Ain't nobody speaking none of that. If I really want, I ran y'all. So let's stop it, bro. I pull you off for no reason. Like literally, you pull me over. I'm driving 10 miles per hour, cuz. Okay, I ain't even driving fast. I can't even see what state the plates from. No, right? I just told you I'm not even from out here. I'm from Florida. I'm from Florida. I'm not even from out here, dog. This is literally I'm from Florida. I play out here. I play football out here for the Patriots. Like, for the Patriots? Yeah. For the Patriots. So you're gonna be disrespectful, right? Man, look. Because I was nothing but respectful when I came, right? You want to throw the papers at me, right? Nobody throw papers at you. You gonna throw the papers at me, man? Nobody throw papers at you, bro. I'm just saying you pull me over for no reason, sir. Second. All right, you gonna let me talk, bro? Go ahead. Second, right? I activated my lights, what, back there? And it took you a while to stop all the way over here? Bro, because I couldn't, I'm really trying to pull him on the spot, my boy. You could have stopped. Look how much room you have back there. Come on, cuz. Come on, we grown men here, bro. Come on, cuz. I pulled over for you, dog. Come on. I'm saying, I activated my lights back there, right? No?
How do we start the episode, Juice? What were we talking about? People these days, what?
Not serious people. Come on, bro, cuz.
Not serious people. Right? That's how this gentleman chooses to act when he's pulled over by the police in the middle of the night in the wrong. And he's going to be giving them an attitude like that. I don't know if you could tell there. He had his mother on speakerphone. He called his mom because the cops pulled him over. And he had her on speaker trying to talk, saying, "Oh, officer." And he's saying, "Hold on, mom." Like, are you kidding? This guy's a grown-ass adult and millions of dollars.
I wasn't even speeding, my boy. Like, why is he talking
like that? Like crazy. And the thing that the cop brought up towards the end there, I I put my lights on back there, he's saying. Apparently, Barmore didn't come to a stop right away. He did what they call a rolling stop. So he slowed down and he kind of kept going. And I guess I'm not a law enforcement expert at all here, but from what I understand, that's a sign to them that they're trying to stash stuff, right? Someone's doing that. They don't pull over right away. Why are they still moving? Why are they still moving? There's nobody. It's not like they're on the highway. Looks like they're on a road, not much going on around them. Just pull over, dude. Stop. But that tells them, they have to go. They don't know who this person is. They don't know what they have. Are they hiding a gun under the seat? Are they stashing drugs? It's 1 a.m. This guy's not pulling over for you. And then you start talking to him and he's hostile and combative right away. And then tries to drop the Patriots player thing. Juice, tell them what you told me pre-show.
I was saying maybe if you told me you were not on the Patriots, would give you a pass. Team sucks so bad that they might give you double time. That's a strike against you nowadays.
It's
right?
so
No,
true.
I'm a Celtics guy. I'm a Celtics.
Yeah. This is not Tom Brady's Patriots, man. No leeway for you, brother. Unbelievable. So that's how we started. In this is on the heels of the one we showed a few weeks ago with Tyreek Hill from the Miami Dolphins. Remember the way he was treating those police officers, trying to roll his window up, not listening to them, not cooperating. And Barmore did this exact same thing.
When has it worked?
Exactly. Me and you, again, we don't look like it now. We played sports growing up, right? We actually did play sports at one point in our lives, Juice. I got myself 1 million penalties in hockey, struck out in baseball, committed fouls in basketball. Always chirped the refs. I was a big chirper. Always doing it. And not one time did that referee ever say, oh, you know what? You didn't trip that kid. You don't have to go to the penalty box. Oh, you know what? That was a charge. We're going to reverse the call and send it that way. Never. It's never going to work that way. And I don't know why people think that's going to work when you're dealing with the police on the side of the road. Shut up. Give them your license. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Deal with it after the fact. This guy's a multi-millionaire. Sue the shit out of him if you can afterwards. If they disrespect you, if they treated you wrong, if there was police brutality. But you're not going to win that argument in the moment on the street with them. Crazy. Juice, you want to give the last part of the interaction? This is when they got him out of the car at this point, and he tried the Tyreek Hill thing. He started to roll the window up on them. And that's when they I think the police did a great job here. And to be honest with you, I was in favor of the way the police treated Tyreek Hill in the Miami thing, dragging his ass out of the car, putting him down on the ground because of the way he was acting. I think they had every right to do this to Barmore here, but they didn't. They showed restraint, and it shows in the footage, and they come off looking great, and Barmore looks like a jackass. So Juice, give us that one.
Yo, what y'all doing? Yo, y'all fucking touch me. Y'all crazy. I ain't do shit to y'all. Yo, sir. He's on blood thinner. Yo, they fuck me. I fucking dare y'all touch me. I dare y'all touch me. I dare y'all touch me. I sue all y'all fuck. All right. Touch me. I'm not, man, yo, I swear to God. Don't stop reaching, bro. Stop reaching. I'm not getting out shit, cuz. Y'all touch me, what's going on, man? Hop out. I ain't getting out shit. You ain't getting out? Come on. You want to get a charge or you just want to get your charge? Charge for what, dog? Yo, man. There you go. Good boys. Relax. Go ahead. What y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do? All y'all talking. Come on. Come on. Y'all niggas. Y'all got cops. Y'all got cops. Hey, yo, stop touching me, dog. What? Yo, stop touching me, boy. Stop touching me. Stop touching me. Stop touching me, boy.
I would have tased that dude a long time ago.
You see him doing he was trying to do that to them too,
boy, and then fixing around his back pants. He was reaching under the seat at one point. I would have.
Yes. Ridiculous, and no surprise, complete Saturday night full sweatsuit, right? Not serious people, Jews. JC would not be having that. None of that. Come on, dude. And again, I love sweatpants. Believe me, as soon as I get home. But and I still go out in sweatpants sometimes too. But I really try not to.
You're putting up a tough
guilty.
thing because if somebody
I feel
catches
guilty
you out
about
there,
it, dude. I feel guilty.
70
I
people
really do.
catches you out with sweatpants. You gotta be.
I'm screwed.
Yeah.
I'm screwed. But it's one of those things where I'm like, I honest to God, like I feel a little bit too old to be wearing sweatpants out of the house in most situations. So I don't know. This whole thing was ridiculous. This is a opportunity to kind of show why the body cameras are actually a good thing. I think a lot of police officers were against it to start, and it was like, no, you kidding me? But it just shows you. It goes to show us how bad the public treats these people.
Yeah, he's not suing them for anything.
No, it's a thankless job. They get treated completely hostile. Every situation they go into is like that. Someone who's pissed off, you're pulling them over, giving you a hard time, giving you an attitude. It's everything they do gets dealt with like that, and it's just terrible. And that was it from Barmore. So I think it was horrible. And this is coming on the heels of a week before another player for the Patriots, Jabril Peppers, arrested for slapping and strangling his girlfriend, throwing her out of the house half naked, and having cocaine found in his wallet. Like, so
you get a
again,
raise in the NFL for that.
It's ridiculous. In the other guy, Hill, that we talked about from the Dolphins, he's got 10 children by 9 different women. He was in college. He strangled and beat his girlfriend there as well. The whole reason why he was drafted in the 6th round instead of the 1st round, because of that. And it's just like, why do we continue to reward people that are not serious people like this? People that are just complete scumbags because they can run fast, they can catch a ball. Like, I get it in a way, but it also just turns me off from the NFL, man. Less and less each week. And I know, Juice, you're a big college guy. You'd prefer to watch the college game. It's crazy.
I haven't watched one NFL game. No joke.
To be honest with you, like, I was going to talk about the Peppers thing a couple of weeks ago when that happened. And the tie-in I was going to use was the difference between the NFL and the NHL. Milan Lucic for the Bruins got arrested for slapping his girlfriend last year. His ass got cut. He was gone. And it's, I guess, easy to do because he's kind of stinks and he's not a great player anymore. So it's like, okay, would they do that if it was the best player on the team? I don't know. But they cut him. He was gone. The other guy that I was asking you guys in the group text about that had a checkered past about, racist comments, hazing in his past.
14-year-old retired.
Yeah. Like the Bruins signed that guy. They got so much backlash for it from within the locker room and the press that they cut him before he even appeared on the ice with the team. And I feel like that goes to show you a little bit of a difference between the NHL and the NFL, where the NFL will give these guys chance after chance after chance and continue to give them money and opportunities when they're just bad people. And that's a broad stroke there, not maybe Barmore specific, because in all honesty, Juice, he has slightly turned around this situation. And I do want to paint the whole picture for you guys. So even though this is the come on man, and we do want to highlight just how in the wrong he was with that, he has released a statement since then. And I do want to give a minute to kind of say what he said. He put out a tweet. Oh, sorry. Before this tweet, which is an apology tweet, and he actually, I think, did the right thing here. The night that it happened, the next day, he put out a tweet about racism, cops targeting him because he's a black man, and this, that, and the other thing that he deleted. So again, it just hammers home the point. This guy's a famous millionaire athlete who's talking about police targeting him for being black. What's that do to other black men out there, young black men who aren't famous like him? There's a reason why black guys are afraid of the police, and it's because of people like Barmore saying that when he has an interaction with them where he's completely wrong and frames it as cops being racist. Tyreek Hill, completely wrong, frames it as cops being racist towards him. No wonder why people who aren't famous are going to think that. But Barmore took down that tweet. And then, put this up. So I'm going to read from it real quick here. Quote, I want everyone to know that I'm sorry and I take full accountability for my actions. I apologize to the Providence Police Department, my teammates, and my family. My mother was a police officer, and I understand the pressures related to their job, which I didn't make any easier by reacting in the manner that I did. I am using this as an opportunity to learn and do better. I have already met with the members of the Providence Police Department to apologize in person. It is my hope that they accept my sincere apology. That meeting is just the first step of many that I am taking on the route to self-improvement, end quote. So I'll tip my cap to that.
Going to meet in person is a big step, because otherwise on that, when you were reading it, I'm like, oh, just agent wrote this and made you.
Exactly. No. She showed up.
That shows an actual.
In talks to these people, man to man, I think it was all guys there. But if he faces up to him, hey, you know what? I reacted horribly, whatever. He sounds like he's owning it. That's a good thing. The only catch that I'll say is that I think he needs to take it one step further and also not avoid the race issue of this either, and be like, hey, I apologize to the Black community out there who my actions help fuel a negative what am I looking for, Juice? A negative perception of police encounters with young Black men, and I was completely wrong and in the fault in this situation, and escalated it, and that's not good for the Black culture, Black community. Law enforcement is not out to get me because I'm a Black man. I was in the wrong, didn't react well, and escalated the situation, and I'm working on that. And I just want others to realize, like, something like that needs to be stated as well, because it's ridiculous. Me and you can't say it. We're two white guys here that are in our 40s, like, right, or about to be 40. And like, people are just going to say we can't relate. We don't know what it's like. We're just white privileged guys. But at the end of the day, I know how to interact when I get pulled over. I know, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Like, that's common sense. And it gets spun that, oh, as a Black man, it's sad that I need to explain to my child how to interact when they get pulled over by a police officer. No, it's not. Every child needs to learn that. When you get your license, I'm going to have that talk with both of my kids about how to act if you get pulled over. You're not being treated any differently because you're Black. You're being treated differently because of the way, what you're giving off, what you're doing, your reaction. So, I don't know, Juice.
Just keeping it tight, that's all.
Keeping it real tight. We went a little long, but I think it was worth it, hopefully. Get those subscriptions up, get those numbers up, subscribe, like, share the show. And Juice, you got anything else to add to this Barmore story?
No, not much. You covered it all.
Right. Awesome. So Christian Barmore, for your initial reaction with the police officers, the New England Patriots in general, for your lack of discipline with your players right now. You guys have earned yourselves one big, fat, classic.
Come on, man.
And that's the show for tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. And until next week, thanks for having
us. Me.
Us.
We.
The Right and Wrong Show is produced by Juice. Executive producer, Juice. Audio mixer is Juice. Hair by Skull Shavers. Wardrobe and makeup by Ashley Ruka. Right and Wrong song created by Juice. The Right and Wrong Show is copyright 2022 from Brian Ruka.